In April 1164, Shirkuh, the commander-in-chief under Sultan Nur al-Din Zengi, marched with Shawar, the former vizier of Egypt, to reclaim control of the Fatimid Caliphate from the usurper Durgam. Shawar had previously held the position of vizier in the caliphate, where the caliph wielded little actual power, leaving true authority in the hands of the vizier. However, in 1163, Shawar was betrayed by Durgam, a close aide, who seized control and expelled him. Desperate to regain power, Shawar sought Nur al-Din's help, promising 1/3 of Egypt's revenue in return. Nur al-Din agreed and dispatched Shirkuh with a small army to aid Shawar. After a fierce clash, Durgam was killed and Shawar was reinstated as vizier. But once in power, Shawar broke his promise, offering only 30,000 dinars instead. Furious, Shirkuh urged Nur al-Din to seek retribution. Meanwhile, Shawar reached out to Amaurik I, the king of Jerusalem, who, alarmed by Shirkuh's presence in Egypt, marched to Shawar's aid. Shirkuh then withdrew to the fort of Bilbais, where he was soon besieged by the combined Fatimid Frankish forces. During the siege, Shirkuh's army struggled as supplies dwindled. Observing the situation, Nur al-Din seized an opportunity. He launched diversionary attacks on nearby Crusader states, including Antioch and Tripoli. This successfully drew Amalek's forces away, allowing Shirkuh a temporary reprieve. In a decisive battle near the castle of Harim, Nur al-Din's forces captured several key Crusader commanders, including Bohemond III of Antioch and Raymond III of Tripoli. To strike fear into Amalric's troops, Nur al-Din sent the heads of the captured Crusaders to Shirkuh, who displayed them on Bilbais's walls. Alarmed, Amalric quickly agreed to a truce, allowing both armies to withdraw from Egypt without victory. After Shirkuh returned to Damascus, peace was held for 2 years. Yet, he continued to advocate for a second campaign against Egypt to avenge Shawar's betrayal. In 1167, Nur al-Din agreed to send Shirkuh's army back to Egypt. At this time, Salahuddin Ayubi, a young commander, and the police chief of Damascus joined Shirkuh on his first military campaign. When Shirkuh's forces entered Egypt, Shawar once again sought Amalric's aid, promising him a hefty 400,000 dinars. Amalric marched to Cairo, and Shirkuh decided to avoid a direct confrontation, instead turning toward Alexandria. He gained the support of Alexandria's citizens, who rose against the Fatimid government to ally with Shirkuh. In response, Shawar and Amalric devised a plan to trap Shirkuh. Amalric left part of his army in Cairo and pursued Shirkuh's forces toward Alexandria. On March 18, 1167, both forces met at Al-Babein. Shirkuh, a seasoned strategist, divided his army into 3 flanks and chose to use the famous tactic, the feigned retreat. Salahuddin Ayubi, commanding the Central Brigade for the first time, was tasked with initiating the retreat to draw Amalric's army into a trap. The timing was critical. An early retreat could break their formation, while a late retreat risked exposing the flanks. Salahuddin's brigade began to pull back gradually, leading Amalric's forces to believe they were in retreat. Once Amalric's troops advanced deep into the battlefield, Shirkuh signaled the flanking brigades to attack from the sides. Amalric's forces were caught off guard and surrounded. In the ensuing battle, Shirkuh's army achieved a decisive victory. Amalric narrowly escaped back to Cairo, while Salahuddin Ayubi celebrated his first military success. After this victory, Shirkuh advanced to Alexandria, where he and his forces were welcomed by the governor, solidifying their strategic foothold in Egypt. The campaign, however, was far from over, as Egypt remained under Fatimid control. Shirkuh anticipated Amalric's retaliation and prepared his forces for the next phase in their struggle to dominate Egypt.